Okay, so welcome back everybody to the second episode of the GT playthrough then. So this episode we're going to be finding out if we have got our new designer, if he accepted our offer. We're going to be getting our car prepared for the first race in Vancouver. And we shall be doing practice and for the first time the 3-stage qualifying, although I'm not too hopeful that we'll get out of Q1, but we'll see. You never know, we might be able to throw a few surprises. Okay, scouting report finished. We'll take a look at those in a minute. Huge anticipation. Scouting report finished. Suspension finished. So we haven't actually found out. I think we're going to find out afterwards. Okay, oh well. Improving parts, there's not really going to be much more we can do before the race. Let's take a look at those two drivers quickly. So yeah, pretty even. Alexa Parnett and Edda Johnstottir. Pretty similar cost. It's going to cost us $2 million to break their contracts though. That's not ideal. We'll have to have a think through that. We'll see what Vanessa Silveria says in terms of that. Okay. Got one sponsor slot available then from Chic Airways. 4-race deal, $450,000 up front and $85,000 per race. Only sponsor we've got. So we want to stick it on the car, really. There you go, Chic Airways. Nicely plastered on the back. I thought we could rotate this, but apparently not. Okay, I think it's time to go to the race then. Oh dear. Our reserve driver is addicted to video games. I know that. Illness oh too well. -3 focus, -5 morale. Let's be honest, we're not going to be using our reserve driver, so it's not a big issue. She admitted she was a big fan of gaming, but claimed. That's terrible English. I thought that was me for a minute. But denies claims that gaming was impacting her performance. That's not me, is it? But claimed that gaming. Yeah, that's terrible. It takes time, sure, but it's a good stress relief. There's nothing better than busting out the computer and shoot. Yeah, you just whip the computer out, don't you? They're really portable. And choosing a few people to take your mind off a bad race. Having said that, I just wish that there was a game where you could manage an LSGT racing. Oh, Inception. Breaking down the fourth wall. The third wall or the fourth? I'm going to continue before I embarrass myself. Okay. Right, let's get these parts fitted then. Okay. No real favouritism between the drivers just yet. We'll try and make them as equal as we can. Obviously, that new brake part has got to go to someone. We'll give it to Casino. Why not? Brakes to Liani. Engines, they're both truly awful. Gearboxes, both truly awful. And the one new suspension part is going to be very unreliable. But we'll give it to Liani. And the pretty terrible suspension part we'll give to Casino. That sort of levels it out. At least they've got roughly the same cars. If one more unreliable than the other though. Okay. We have no sponsors, so we're going to be losing money no matter what this race. That's not brilliant, is it? Why don't they have a few more sponsors? Is this part of the challenge of creating your own team again, so you don't start with set sponsors? I guess so. Couldn't really have picked a further away team to travel for a team struggling for budget, just starting up a brand new racing team, but hey, there's no actual variance in cost, I don't think, in where you go around the world as to expenses, which I suppose keeps it level because you have no real control over what races to go to, but it would be nice to take it into account on the realism side of things. But hey ho. Here we are, nice sunny Vancouver then on Friday morning. We'll have practice and then qualifying, and we'll see what kind of shape this car is at. I'm pretty certain I know what kind of shape this car is at. But, yeah, we'll see. So we've got a new thing to filter in, of course. We've got ballast, which is going to change the way the car handles. Basically, the amount of ballast you've got to work with is dependent on the weight of your driver, so that does actually come into account as an extra element of strategy. I don't know that it would have a massive amount of effects. I mean, you've got both extremes really in the range of a normal driver, so and you've got pressures, cambers, suspension and gear ratio to mess with as well. So it's the only thing I can only see that being really like a benefit of having a lighter driver if there was some kind of multiplayer mechanic where people are trying to get absolutely perfect setups, but for the purpose of this, the car's a lot more important than the setup, to be fair. As long as you get a half decent one, you should be okay. Okay, let's try yeah, oversteer, low speed and acceleration. So 2 compounds of tyres, super softs and ultra softs. Seems a bit strange again for GT racing, but there you go. Some series do. Some series do have different compounds of tyres. Normally just hard and softs. Having different compounds at different races is not really something that GT racing does. And Liani's, you see, he's a bit lighter, so we get a bit more ballast to play with, but I just can't believe it will make much difference. Handling, oversteer, and we'll go towards acceleration as well, and he can test out the ultra softs. Okay, let's go to our first practice session of this brand new GT season then. Let's send them out. I won't fast forward it just yet. We'll bring them in, of course, because it's nice to see these cars out on track for the first time. Our own car with our own livery, with our own name on it, out on the track. They sound pretty great, I think that's for sure. And this episode is going to be a bit shorter anyway, because normally it would be the same format as a single seater. Have all the build up, practice, and in this case qualifying, and then the race in a separate episode. Because the build up was quite a lot longer, split up some of the build up from a bit more build up and the practice and the race. So this will be a bit of a shorter episode, depending on how qualifying goes. If we somehow get through to Q3, it'll be quite a long one, but I've got a feeling we'll be knocked out in Q1. So we'll just enjoy the cars out on the track for now. Right, let's see how the setups are going then. 67%. Brilliant cornering, terrible handling, and pretty poor speed balance. Okay. Alright. Let's go back towards top speed a bit then. Handling, let me try and keep that cornering where it is. The balance just gives you a bit more to play with, really. So we'll go a bit more towards understeer. I want to try and bring us a bit back towards acceleration, because Paul suggests we're in the ballpark, but it's either a bit more acceleration or a bit more top speed. So we'll try that. Actually, the cornering is not at all where I want it to be. Let's go there. Let's see how that does. As for casino, don't know if the double S makes it different from the casino that you go and play roulette and stuff at. Casino, I guess. Don't know. 71%, good cornering, great speed balance, very poor handling. So let's try and change that handling more towards understeer. We'll try and get this cornering maybe a bit more of change than speed balance. Speed balance, let's tiny change just in case. Actually, that cornering can probably change a bit more. There we go, perfect. Okay, let's see if that does any job. I'm also going to have to get to grip, of course, with the new ERS system. It's a shame you can't play about with it in practice. I don't know that it is a factor in qualifying. I don't think so. But it'll be interesting to see how we adapt to that in the race. Of course, the ERS system is harvesting all the time, and then you can use that power to either save fuel, in which case you obviously have a longer range with less fuel, making the car lighter but still being able to go the same distance. Or you can use it as a boost, release all the energy to increase the top speed of the car, or the acceleration. Generally, with KERS systems or energy recovery systems, when the energy's released, it doesn't really work for the lower speeds. It's once the car gets going and has some momentum that it has the best use. You've got a really long back straight here. I've forgotten to bring them in again. I keep doing this. Brand new season, same lessons still not learnt. Who's the front running car? It is Casino. So as he comes around this hairpin now, this is the long straight, and this is probably where we can use that built up ERS power. But I do think practically, from some of the testing I've done, it's going to be more useful to save fuel. It's very difficult, I've found, to use it correctly, the ERS deployment. But may need to be used if you absolutely have to overtake someone. So you never know, we might use it. And that back straight is probably the best place to use it. It's going to stay dry for this session. Hopefully we'll have a nice dry weekend. Saying that, we're right down the end of the pit lane as well. I like that we're the worst team and you stop. It actually keeps the order anyway. Saying that, yeah, a bit of rain will probably help our car at the moment, because it's going to be pretty terrible. Right, big improvement from Liani then. Speed balance and cornering pretty much as perfect as you're going to get. Just the handling we need to change. We went more towards understeer and we've gone the right direction. So maybe a bit more understeer, but we want to try and get that speed balance and cornering back to where it needs to be. Let's go that way, and then we can... Oh, we haven't got any more camber. Use the tyre pressure. There we go. That should be good. Plenty of tyre life left. Plenty of time left on the clock, so you can go back out. And Casino, I think it's a small improvement. 81, yeah. But still struggling with handling and cornering. So we've actually gone backwards on the cornering. So we want to go a bit more towards high speed. Leave that speed balance as it is. And handling, we've definitely gone the right direction. So more understeer, more high speed. Okay. More high speed. We'll be changing suspension, don't we? More understeer. And pretty much the same speed balance. Slight change to see if we can improve it. Perfect. Out they go again. Ah, little bus going around the back there. Never noticed that before. It's the little things. It's the little background animations that make this game such a charm at the same time. There it is, again. It's just going around in a circle. Pretty much like a racetrack, really. But yeah, it's all those little details that add, but it's the deep strategic layer beneath it that really pushes all the right buttons for a motorsport fan, or just a strategy fan. I think that's where this game has done well and will continue to do well. Is it creates a crossover point between fans of good strategy games, good management games, and fans of motorsport. They strike a good balance between it. Like, you can probably work out most of the mechanics or the intricacies of the motorsport without having any knowledge of it, and this brings it to a new market, which is cool. They should really hire me as their PR person. No, they wouldn't. I'd be terrible. 89%. It's an improvement again. Great and excellent. We've somehow managed to ruin the cornering though. So we need to go back towards low speed again. Handling even more understeer, I guess. So we need a tiny tick of low speed. And more understeer. No, we definitely don't want to do it via balance. Actually, let's reset that. Let's get the understeer on first. We have to do it with tyre pressure and suspension. So a bit more understeer. Let's get that acceleration. Put it that way, then we should be able to increase it. Nope. There we go. That's about right. We've gone more towards high speed though. We want low speed. It's going to be a tricky balance to get. I don't know that we're going to get a better balance than we did, to be fair. Move that balance back. It's proving tricky. Actually, no, perfect. There we go. Acceleration, slightly more low speed, and more understeer. Tyres okay? Tyres okay. Back out. Castellano. Not Castellano, it is Casino, isn't it? Yeah. Exactly the same. Okay. Okay. So we want to go back towards low speed. And keep these two pretty much the same. Back towards low speed. We'll put a slight change in handling and speed balance to see if it makes any difference. Still searching for excellence. So Casino struggling at the moment with the setup. Liani much more comfortable, but still more work to do with both. Yeah, I feel qualifying will probably still take some time, so we will speed it up. Let's just get these last few runs over with. We should be able to get one more in after this. It's a 1:16 lap round here, so you can see the single-seater circuit round the back there, so it's a lot shorter for these GT cars, which obviously aren't quite as quick. 84, that's an improvement. It's still showing the same readings though. We still want more low speed then, and let's just try a random change, shall we? In speed balance and the handling, can always revert it. It's a tricky balance, this setup malarkey. This should be a lot better from Liani. 94, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we went from towards understeer, so maybe a bit more understeer in the car. Not quite that much though. Jesus. Oh, we've run out of options to do it with really without making big changes. Oh. Understeer, a bit more understeer. How do we get that low speed back? I don't know that we can change it much, really. Just try a tiny tweak. Actually, no, it's not the cornering I want to change, you idiot. It's the handling. More understeer. We got any options to do that? It's all by big chunks. Okay, we'll give it a go. We can always revert. 94 I'm happy with. I'm happy to race with 94. So, I don't mind making some slightly bigger changes to see if it makes much difference. GT cars look and sound good. And I like that it brings some added layers of strategy, as instead of just being a different set of cars, which they could easily have done, in fairness. So I'm glad that there's some strategic differences. 95. We've somehow lost the 2 excellence. Oh, I feel like the perfect setup is there somewhere. What did we change? Need to go slightly towards acceleration and top speed again. So oh, definitely not. Nope. What if we change the gear ratio slightly? We can't go back to acceleration. We're just going to upset everything. Let's try and improve that cornering a little bit. We've got time. And Casino 82. Backwards again. Very backwards. Okay. Let's use the 84 and just wing it. Let's just try it. Why not? I'm completely out of options for Casino with this amount of time left. I have no idea how we can fix his car. I was thinking about the roles of the reserve drivers, of course, except for being backups. Our reserve driver does have better feedback than Casino, but I get the feeling that if you put him in the car and set it up for him, it would be a completely different car. For Casino, he would want different things out of it. But then, I've never tried it. You could, of course, just copy one teammate's setup to the other, and would it theoretically give you the same rating? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, qualifying. 3-stage qualifying for the first time in Motorsport Manager then. And it's wet. Oh, joy. Okay. So we get knowledge slots for qualifying. This is the first qualifying full stop I've done in a full Let's Play. Even personally. I've done it on a few muck arounds. That's about it. Practice knowledge, I mean qualifying and super softs. Super softs aren't going to be needed. I'm not going to lie to you, buddy. Same for Liani, but qualifying performance will help, of course. Let's take a look at how those setups ended up. Yeah, we're going to have to go with the 84 then. We're obviously going to want to qualify on the ultra soft tyre. No, we're not, because it's raining, you pillow. Nearly made that mistake. And Liani, continue to improve, 96%. Look at that. Okay, and intermediate tyres. Fuel load, I presume, isn't a problem. Right, qualifying. Here we go. Right, 7 minutes. We want to get them straight out then. Liani, we'll send out first. What's the track going to do? It's going to get wetter, so we want to go out as soon as possible with both cars. Hope I haven't put them too close together there, actually. So on qualifying, you have to manage this clean air optimization, which obviously keeps you in clean air by slowing them down and speeding them up, but of course it's also about getting the brake temperatures and the tyre temperatures in the right area. I have very little practice of this, so I don't expect us to do too well. So they're overheating a bit, so we'll back off. We'll back Casino off because he's now getting far too close to his teammate. Needs to speed up again. Speed up again. Casino really needs to speed up because his temperatures are very low. Slightly overheated brakes for Liani. Tyres are very cool. They're locked in. Overheated and cold for Liani. Perfect and cold for Casino. Okay. There's not much we can do. I've got a feeling Casino's going to catch Liani here, which is probably going to ruin his lap. Might even ruin both their laps, but they're locked in now. Of course, this isn't warming the tyres and brakes. No. Like, it cuts it off like half a lap before the end. It's like, you know, they can still warm the brakes and tyres in that about mile to two of racetrack. Okay. Said in the rules that the 8-minute session would allow one flying lap. I don't know if we will get time for a second. We'll see how quickly they complete this lap as they come across the line then. Third for Liani, second for Casino. And they're coming back in automatically, which suggests to me we don't have time for another lap. Okay, we're definitely a long way off the front of the grid. I'm not naive enough to think otherwise on that, and also I kind of expected it. Casino, unsurprisingly, has the quicker lap by 0.8 of a second. Whether that was all tyre life, I don't know. Because Liani has the better setup, of course. So that's quite surprising. 3 minutes. There should be time to get back out. Or is it you can only do one lap? Is that a rule of the championship? Just a flying single lap. No, we've got time. We can send them out again. Good. Now set of intermediates then. Straight back out. Another set of intermediates. Straight back out. It's 2 minute 55 remaining. So they are going to have time. They are going to have time for another lap. So right, let's concentrate on this heat up and stuff. Let's speed up Leone and slow down Casino to try and get a gap between them. Yes, that's working perfectly. Okay, let's let him go. Now we'll get Casino to step on it. Get Leone to slow down quite a lot because his temperatures are now way too hot. Down, 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 down. Down. Up a bit, down. Up a bit. Up a bit more. Cold, perfect. Oh shit, massively overheated for Casino. Oh, you see, with an 8-minute session, it's really difficult to get both cars. Because you've got to send them out at the same time because of the time constraints. I don't know what I think about this. It's a nice element to it. I guess it gives you something to manage during qualifying. But it's, you know, it's the driver's responsibility in qualifying. They're out there to prepare the car and do the best lap they can in that car, on that track, on that day. I shouldn't have to be managing their tyre levels, although drivers probably are being told that information on an outlap in real life, so maybe it is realistic. Okay, will they improve? Leone does. Big improvement. Casino does as well. It's 3rd and 5th. No one else went and did a second run. And that's a massive improvement. Wow. I'm pretty staggered by that. A lot of cars doing runs on the wet tyres. And they had pretty much the worst times. So a few teams making the wrong decision on the wrong tyres. We were definitely on the right tyres, and that second run, even though the track was soaking, seems to have been the right decision. Pole position for Okimoto. No, it's not, because it's 3-stage qualifying. That doesn't count. Lap board reset to 0. We will get the nice new swanky graphic for 3-stage qualifying. There you go. Lee, White, Gatto, Norris and Shannon all knocked out. We go through to Q2 in 3rd and 5th. Can we repeat that in qualifying 2? Let's find out, shall we? Okay, Q2. A sight I really wasn't thinking we'd see this weekend, considering we've got the worst car on the grid. And it's completely bone dry. That's pretty awesome. Right, I'm going to try a different tactic this time around. I'm going to send both cars out a lap apart, so I get time, hopefully, to manage their temperatures. And it's less chance of getting it wrong. So, let's send Casino out first. We should still have time, I'm hoping, to do 2 laps each. In the dry there's a lot less variables, so we'll probably, unless we muck this up, we still need to speed up. Back off, back off. Still need those tyre temps up. The brakes are too high. Back off. Oh, the brakes, mate. What are you doing with the brakes? What am I supposed to do? Oh, what a pillock. He's overheated the brakes. That's not my fault. Just telling you now. Okay, Leone will send out them. Oh, he's got quite a lot of traffic. He's also going to get in the way of his teammate. Hopefully our teammate is going to clip through him, apparently. Okay. Right. Let's speed him up a bit. It's these brakes at the end of this straight I'm worried about. So we back off into the braking zone, maybe. No, he's not going quick enough. There, the brakes shoot up there then. Still need to get that tyre temp up. The brakes need to come down a bit. Still needs to come down a bit. Oh, overheated everything. Fucking hell. Casino 1.9 seconds off the lead. I think we're going to get a much more realistic view of our pace in the dry. Also, we didn't get the tyres and brakes that right, but does that make much of a difference? It's going to make some difference, I'm sure, but it's not the be-all and end-all of a lap. If you've got the pace in the car, which we most certainly do not. Okay, we'll see what Liani does. Casino's coming straight back into the pits. And we'll obviously remember to send him straight back out again. It's going to be nip and tuck with Liani as to whether he gets another lap. He was shifting down before he got to the line. No, it wasn't great, mate. But it was 0.3 of a second quicker than your teammate. So well done on that. I don't know if we have the same 3-stage rules as Formula 1, as in Q2, if you get through to Q3, you'll start on those tyres. Don't know. Something we shall learn together as well. So Casino, we will definitely get a lap in with. Liani, it's going to be nip and tuck. It's a shame we can't tell him to hurry. That'd be pretty useful right now. Right, let's speed up a bit. And back off a bit, try and get those brakes down. Tyre temp still too cold. Let's try and bring them up. Bring them up a bit more. Just tyre temp's perfect. That's good enough for me. Will we get another lap in? It's a very short lap, so we should get another lap with Liani here, with any luck. Casino crosses to start his flying lap. Only slightly overheated brakes. Much perfect on the tyres, so hopefully he can improve. I think Q3 really is a long shot, but what we're looking at, 0.6 of a second to get ourselves into Q3 at the moment. Let's concentrate on Liani. Okay, back off into the braking zone. Right, try and get those brakes back down again. Let's get those tyre temps up a bit. Go on. Oh, the brakes again, that little spike just before they start. Casino did a 15.7, so it is a very slight improvement, but not much. I think he improved by 1/10 of a second there. I think we're being put in our place now. See if Liani can prove us wrong. I mean, 14th, 15th is an incredible way to start the season in qualifying, but it's definitely that weather, wet weather, that has done us in. Mid split's looking pretty good. 1.2, 1.8. Yeah, he's not going to get through, is he? He might nip Silveria. He's lucky. What does he do? He doesn't improve. So 15.7. Okay, well that was... Look, first qualifying of the season. Our cars are at the back of the grid. You start at the bottom. So I liken that to a manor when they did exist, or a Caterham HRT type thing. Getting through to Q2, which is a pretty stellar achievement for our first ever race. And there we can see the cars knocked out, and that is qualifying. We will find out the top 10 in the race, of course, but it's 14th and 15th for our first race then. Do let me know down in the comments how you think our first race will go. Where do you think we'll finish? Any advice for the ERS system, if anybody's used it, how best to use it in the race? I'd love to hear that. If you did enjoy the episode, do hit that like button. It lets me know you're enjoying the series. And if you are new to the channel, then you can also subscribe if you wish, to keep up to date with everything. But until next time, which will be Thursday or Friday, one of the two, I can't remember. Tune in for our first race in the GT series, and as always, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you again very soon. May well get 9th on the last lap of the race. She is in 9th. Good job. Back in 10th. Bit premature, but here we go. Rounding the final corner, Claudia Dreyfus takes her maiden win in the European Racing Championship. We get our first victory. Look, we're trying to teach people how to do space things here.
We've had a minor accident.
Taking his meat, I've taken it, got it.
Oh, what was that giant thing you just whipped out?